You gave me dialogue in your life. I didn't ask for that. I remember that first week, that first 2 weeks, hell, even that first month, guests used to come up, be like, hey, let's take a shot. Or even friends, hey, come on, let's take a shot. And at first, it's like, nah, I ain't drinking. Oh, word? It's like, oh, what's it been, a day or two? Come on, you ain't gonna keep going. Like,
yeah,
you know
no,
what I mean?
exactly. Don't be
Then it's like after a week.
testing your gangster on it, huh?
Bro,
like,
and they keep, it's usually after that 2-3 month period where it's just like, all right, I'll leave you alone. But it's just mad annoying. Like, bro, I'm trying to do something different.
They say that they want to support you and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, like, they have selfish motives when they're doing that.
I mean, bro, we're the face of their entertainment. They don't want to lose that.
Oh, exactly. Like, is this going to change like the dynamic of what they're doing? And it's like, no, it doesn't really have to. Like, you know, I'm not here for you. Like, you know, you're here to drink, you're here to have a good time and stuff like that. I'm here to facilitate that in a way.
Motherfucker made me an important NPC. You feel me?
But if like
you gave me dialogue in your life. I didn't ask for that. And welcome back to the other side of the glass. My name is Ronnie.
My name is Joewell.
And man, we here, episode 3. Shit, we ain't give up yet.
No, not yet. No, I mean, not until not yet. Not until the episode 2 drops, I guess.
Nah, facts.
No, we'll see.
But yeah, man, you know, we ain't really got no topics today. We kind of just figured we'd you know what I mean, talk about the negative sides of bartending, life, just, you know, mental health, the toll it takes on you. But I'll let you go first, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. As far as
like the toll that this industry takes on you.
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, I guess just straight off the rip, huh? So I always say, like, to people, you know, who are aspiring to get into the service industry or become bartenders, just because they see that. I mean, we've all felt that way at some point. I felt that like when I first met the person that inspired me to get into bartending, and you know, you see them, you know, having so much fun, you know, having a job where, you know, they're making money hand over fist, and it's just glamorous, you know.
Yeah.
It's like they look like fucking rock stars, you know. And then, you know, they're going out drinking and stuff like that to other bars, and you know, they walk in, the other bartenders know their names and stuff like that. It's something that I definitely wanted as a young man, you know, when it came to, like, you know, finding out. Not even for at the time, I guess it really wasn't what I wanted my career path to be. It just kind of became that later on. But yeah, no, like I remember seeing these bartenders, or one bartender in particular, and just thinking, like, man, like, you know, like I could do that.
Yeah.
Like I will do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the guy that, you know, people want to come in and be so excited to see. People are gonna be high fiving, and you know, you're paying me to do it.
Yeah.
I could do that.
Easy.
Sure.
Yeah. Bro, it comes down to like you said, it's just that in the moment, those like that 5 seconds of fame, what people see, what you were describing, you go to different bars, people acknowledging you walk around, you're known, this, that, third, you're getting paid to just kind of party or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I think the side that a lot of people don't understand, and I mean, honestly, because it's getting to a point now, like it's been wearing on me, like, you know what I mean, for the past couple months, like as far as just like the crowd. And I think a lot of it has to do with just me being sober these days, you know what I mean? So like my ability to like entertain bullshit is like at an all-time low. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man.
So these conversations that I have with people were like the demandingness, like the way that people go about demanding service at that late night time. Because it's mostly like, like I said, it's usually around like that 10, 11 to like 2 a.m. crowd that's, you know what I mean, that wears on you.
Through that lens, you be absolutely watching people just change,
like,
you know?
Like that, bro. And I like it gets to the point where I lose a lot of respect for certain people. I see how you move throughout the night. You know
absolutely,
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was fucking with you heavy when you walked in, and that goes for guys and girls alike. You know what I mean? But over the years, you know, you deal with it. You deal with it like
you're war torn, man.
Yeah,
I've seen too much.
You know what I mean? And it's just like people don't really get like the whole. You get off. Like, y'all leave the club at 1:30. And this is the other thing, too. Like, I noticed it, especially with securities, what they got to deal with, like, kicking people out and, like, really, like, trying to, like, do their job at the end of the night, and people just make it so fucking hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People don't realize when we kick you out at 1:30, 2 o'clock, we finally kind of got everything cleared out. And you know what I mean? We're starting the cleanup process.
Yeah.
And most people, you know what I mean? At least the bar team, we're not off at the earliest, maybe close to, like, 2:45, 3 a.m.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then we're still humans and expected to function as normal people and like, you know what I mean? In society. So we're still trying to be up early. Like I'm not saying 7 a.m. because you know what I mean, but still trying
within reason. I mean, like you do get both kind of bartenders in both different types of bars. You know, because not all bars close at that late. hours. A lot of bars like close. Some bars close at midnight. I know some bars close at 11 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there's more power to when you do. But like the hours that people put in for bartending still, I believe, take a toll on you physically, you know, and definitely mentally. And kind of to what you said, being expected to function in a society where, you know, it's like, hey man, like, you know, I got my kid's birthday, you know, on Saturday morning, this and that. You think you make it? And it's like, man, I just closed on Friday night.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, I'll try my best to make it. Turns out, it's your nephew's birthday, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, then I feel like I have to make an appearance. And it's like, but I can only hang out for a little bit. And then, you know, I got my job. I got to go to work that Saturday.
That same day, yeah.
You know, or just everybody, you know, having regular 9-to-5 jobs, and they're just over here inviting you to these things or setting up these days and stuff like that. That just that counteract with what you have scheduled, which are like, you know, you typically like weekend evenings or late nights from like, you know.
I mean, but that's something that we knew we gave it up even before bartending, just in the restaurant industry. You know what I mean? Like the money makers are the times that most people have off because that's what they're doing. They're going to the clubs, they're going to restaurants to eat, have fun. So but then obviously it becomes more prevalent when you bartending because then now you missing every weekend, you're missing vacation.
And then you know, how long have you been doing this? I mean, like, have you been missing weekends for, you know, the last 5 years, 6 years, 11 years of your bartending, you know, career, or like depending on how long you've been doing it? Because I've been bartending for over 11 years now. And I've definitely bounced between the balances. But I've bounced between having, you know, no weekends available to having the luxury of working some places like Monday through Friday daytime openings.
Those are like fucking anomalies.
Man, like that was some of the best times ever. I mean, you know, I wasn't making the most money, but I was making just enough. But I was having a balanced lifestyle. Yeah, like I was able to, like, you know, go out on a Saturday or, like, you know, spend an evening home with my significant other on a Sunday night or Friday
even Sunday
night.
brunches, or, you know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Things like that, you know.
Having weekends off in general.
Going out to get served by people that usually would be me, you know? And that's what I feel like, you know, I think sometimes it, like, you know, it should come with, we should be looking out for ourselves and caring for ourselves in a way where we find that balance so that we're not always, you know, giving up our weekends and working, you know, weeks on end that turns into months that turns into years.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, bro, I feel like that's something that I've been learning like probably recently because, you know, I mean, I haven't been in 11 years, but I've been in this industry, at least the restaurant industry, close to 11 years, but I've been bartending for about like 6 or 7. And it's one of those, like, in those times, probably up until recently, like, I missed every weekend engagement. I missed every, like, reunions, you know what I mean? Vacations with family, vacations with old friends, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And
after a while, like, people stop hitting you up because they're like, oh, we know you just normally don't.
That's the worst part too. When people actually stop reaching out and stop hitting you up because they know that, like, you're not going to be.
You're going to say no. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
as weird as it sounds, it's like I still want you to reach out just so I can say no. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get it, but it's and that's why I think it's important. That's why I think it's important to have that. You know, for whoever it is, every individual is different. Yeah. You know, it's like try to find that balance. I know for me personally, like I try to schedule. I try to schedule in advance because it works the best for, you know, me requesting or getting the time off. Yeah. But I take the time off.
You got to plan it though.
Like, you know, I got to get away, bro. Like, you know, I joke about how the last few months I've been traveling and stuff like that. And that was like a lot of traveling crammed into like 2 months. But, you know, I still got, like, you know, down the pipeline, you know, time that I want to take off to either go to this or do this, you know, or, like, you know, once in a while, what's fun is that, you know, taking off a random like Friday night, or like you know, or random Saturday night once in a while if the finances will allow it, you know, and I can get the time off, and I'll just be doing nothing too. It won't be like, you know, oh, I'm going out.
It's the fact that I don't have to go out.
Yeah, it's the comfort. I could be home doing nothing. It's the feeling knowing that, like, you know, I'm taking this time for me. Yeah. And I think that does a lot it does a lot for my mental, for sure. Yeah.
I was about to say, now being in an environment like that, right? Because obviously we've all been there and then we see it all the time, you know what I mean? As far as like with our coworkers and how they cope with the stresses. Like, I got to give a major props to a lot of bartenders that are out there that are able to handle, like, one, you can't be a bartender if you can't handle your liquor. You know what I mean? Because that, like, and those people get weeded out real quick. They don't last in the industry. But it's one of those
hobbyists, as we mentioned before.
you know what I mean? It's the ones that come in, be like, oh, you guys hiring? I could definitely do this. It's like, you have any experience? No, but like, you know.
Or like, I know it's like some bullshit ass experience.
I bartended at BJ's for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's
like,
you know.
But it's one of those, like, I feel like, even though a lot of us do a good job with, you know what I mean, dealing with the stresses of life and the job, I feel like us having a like liquor as an outlet is probably like one of the most worst things that a bartender can have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because end of a shift, we're so quick to let me just get a couple. You know what I mean? Or you're cleaning and you just pouring one out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and people don't realize, like, I don't know, just a toll of that. I don't really know what the solution to that would be.
No, I mean, well, like, you know, we definitely use the convenience of having alcohol ready and accessible to us as a crutch for, like, you know, whatever we're going through emotionally or mentally, you know, and it's just because it's there and it's all like, and it's always going to be there. You know, a lot of people have to go out of their way to go to a bar and do anything like that, and I feel like that makes it, like, you know. That just the effort of having to go and do that make me like, well, you know, maybe I
think about it.
Maybe I don't go to the bar and stuff like that. Like, I'm already at the bar, bro.
Yeah. And then think about how many times you've had one-on-ones with, like, people, close talks, this and that, and you trying to vent to them. And the first thing is like, yo, man, I appreciate it. Let's take a shot. Or, hey, man, let's just take a shot. Everything gonna be okay. Bro, everything revolves around a shot. You know,
I just started taking a break recently, you know, from drinking. And, you know, it's only been like 4 days, but still, like, you know, in this 4 day, like, you know, period.
You gotta start somewhere.
In this 4 day period, like, the hardest part has just been, like, motherfuckers, like, just asking me, like, for, you know, hey, you want to take a shot? Like, this and that. Like, hey, you want a shot about it?
Hey, here's the one thing, too, I'll tell you, bro. Like, I noticed it when I first, like, because obviously now, like, I'm at what, month 7? But I remember that first week, that first 2 weeks, hell, even that first month, people, like, guests used to come up, be like, hey, let's take a shot. Or even friends, hey, come on, let's take a shot. And at first, it's like, nah, I ain't drinking. Oh, word. And at first, it's like, oh, what's it been, a day or two? Come on, you ain't gonna keep going. Like,
yeah,
you know
no,
what I mean?
Exactly. Don't be.
Then it's like after a week,
testing your gangster on it, huh?
Bro.
Like,
and they keep. It's usually after that 2-3 month period where it's just like, all right, I'll leave you alone.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But it's just mad annoying. Like, bro, I'm trying to do something different. Like,
exactly, no. And it's like, you know, they say that they want to support you and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, like, you know, they just have selfish. They have selfish motives when they're doing that.
I mean, bro, we're the face of their entertainment. They don't want to lose that.
Oh, exactly. Like, is this going to change, like, the dynamic of what they're doing? And it's like, no, it doesn't really have to. Like, you know, I'm not here for you. Like, you know, you're here to drink. You're here to have a good time and stuff like that. I'm here to facilitate that in a way.
Motherfucker made me an important NPC. You feel me?
But if, like,
you gave me dialogue in your life. I didn't ask for that.
Oh, making an NPC is crazy, bro. But yeah, no, like, I mean, if you think you're just gonna come in here, like, you know, like, beat the drum and I'm gonna dance for you, like, you know, in regards to, like, you know, giving me alcohol, and then, like, you know, you're gonna get this certain reaction out of me, then it's like, no, I don't want to do that, you know, which I feel like is just another, like, different aspect of this job, which kind of gets, you know, misunderstood when people come and visit and stuff like that.
Oh, it's crazy, bro. Okay.
Well, so
I'm happy you brought it up. You start that off, because that is something I did want to touch on, because I got a lot to say.
And, like, I'm very conflicted about it, and I don't know if it's just me getting older, or is it me, like, you know,
you recognizing the bullshit, bro.
So basically, like, there was a time when, like, this is back when I was drinking heavy at work, heavier than I was. And so, like, you know, I'd be drinking during work and stuff like that on the shift, and it'd be like a Friday or Saturday night, and then, like, you know, a fucking song would come on, and then I'd fucking, like, I'd be like, drop everything and just start fucking dancing and stuff like that, you know? And it was fun, but it was fun because I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Once that song started coming on and people started expecting that of me, it stopped being fun, like, so quick, bro, so quick, and I was just like, no, like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Everyone's like, hey, Joewell, it's your song.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'm the asshole. Like, I'm the asshole. Like,
oh, you having a bad day today?
Oh, you know. And then sometimes I was. Yeah. Sometimes I was having a bad day. Sometimes I really just wasn't in the mood. But ultimately, eventually, it became, you know, like, every time this is come on, they're going to expect this of me, and I don't like that anymore. Yeah. You know, now, not only have you ruined the song for me, but, like, you know, it's just this, like, what is the dynamic of this relationship now?
Yeah.
You know, like what is this? Has this become more beyond a job from like to me? Like, am I commanding respect like I think I am now? So,
nah, that's I mean, bro, like a different example, but kind of like the same thing what you're talking about. When people started expecting, like, and this is, I started noticing this, you know what I mean? When I stopped hooking people up and I really just started taking a step back. Cause I remember at first, I came back to SP2 in just a whirlwind of a mindset. You know what I mean? Like I was in my own party bag and then I started here and it was just like, oh shit, we all on this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, cool, I'm just hopping on the train and we going full speed. During that time, like, obviously I'm still working at a job and interacting with customers and shit, whether like, you know what I mean? Whether my mind is right or not, interactions are happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then it was one of those like, certain relationships got built and certain people, like, you know what I mean? Sometimes if I'm feeling good and like we have a moment, yeah, shit, here's a shot, you know what I mean? But like certain people start expecting that or expecting to get plugged. And then now the expectation became the minimum. So now I wasn't getting tipped anymore until it's like I plug the plug.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like and
so
then
now I gotta put my job on the line.
Yeah, bro. And then
money.
once I stopped doing that shit, especially like once, you know what I mean, I kind of just fell back and low-key just kind of said, fuck everybody. You know what I mean? I still love y'all. Thank you for watching the episode. But like, you know what I mean? Just in general, like people, I started noticing like who the leeches were, who really just comes, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And now you're fucking with my livelihood now at this point.
You feel me?
Like, which now that's another element that's just weighing on me too. It's like,
yeah,
now
bro.
I gotta make decisions on whether or not I want to put my job at risk or.
And it's crazy too, because I've had like, you know what I mean? I've had certain people that are regulars or whatnot that know people that work there that I don't really plug no more that will see me plug somebody else and be like, damn, what the fuck is? I'm like, little do you know, for example, we got this one dude always comes through. I ain't gonna throw his name out there, but cool ass dude, man. Shout out to you. Literally,
he's all, yeah, that's me.
But nah, bro, comes through every single time. Knows his order. I know his order. He doesn't ask for nothing else. Just a Henny with a Red Bull. Can I have the extra Red Bull? Like, you know what I mean? Pays for it every single time. I'm like, yeah, bro. Every time I see him on the peripheral, 3 lines back, bro. Like, I already got his drink made. He slides me his card, tips 20%, whether I give him a 20% discount, whether I don't, whatever the case is, like, you know what I mean? It doesn't change. And at the end of the night, he's like, yo, I got one rolled up for you. Let me know when you take your break. Every single night.
Man.
You know what I mean? So it's one of those, like, I never asked you to do none of that shit. You just a cool dude in the pocket, laid back. It's the ones that just end up like, you know what I mean? They're trying to make it seem like they run shit here. So you get people just moving. And I know you got to deal with that at Brandon too. You know what I mean?
All the time, man.
It's one of those like, again, bro, like I'm just an NPC in your life. You came to this, you know what I mean? You came to this venue to have a good time. Stop trying to include me or try to fake way be cool with me so that way I can just promote your good time and make you look cool in front of everybody.
Yeah. If you're cool with me, then you're not going to have a problem with me doing my job and stuff like that.
Bro, all my homies that come through, bro, they quiet as fuck. I know what they all drink. And obviously, sometimes they'll pull up with a shorty. Hey, can you got me? I'm like, yeah, if you really if I hang out with you outside of this job, yeah, bro, we're friends. Like, if I only see you when I clock in, like, oh, man, chances are we're not friends.
We ain't friends. And that's okay. We don't have to be friends.
You know what I mean?
You know?
We can be acquaintances and I got no problem with you. And like, yo, I fuck with you. I think, like, you know what I mean? We share stories and shit. And honestly, a lot of the customers that I'm really cool with are the ones that see me before 9. They see me before 8. When it's slow, come down, eat. We have a conversation.
Showing up at 11.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For like a fake 30-second convo just to grab a quick little plug and then boom, I want to see you till tomorrow. And it's like the same thing with the security got to deal with at the front, bro. Everybody's looking for a way to look cool in this little party for the night. Yeah,
everyone wants to be hooked up. Everyone wants to be, plugged. But, realistically, that's just not doable for everybody.
It's a fucking business, bro. At the end of the goddamn day. Thank you. This is not my liquor that I just have in my fucking bag. Like, I can't even take a bottle home if I wanted to. Right. You know what I mean?
This ain't even like it. They didn't even like that for me.
Like, and people don't get that. And again, like I said, it's just one of those. It's like separating the people that really fuck with you versus the ones that don't. And like, you know what I mean? I met some really cool people working, like real connections from my bar too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's kind of why we stay in this business because of the connections that we make with people, and a lot of them over the years have been genuine, even more of them have not been, I met all kinds of like, friends, other job opportunities, other family members I never met, just working behind the bar and stuff like that. But
that's crazy.
No, it is crazy, right? Yeah, like you like, oh, like yeah, it's a weird interaction. It's very far and few in between. But it's like I guess my point is like you you run into so many different people, and then like your face gets around, and then you get recognized. Like you have the conversation, like, oh, so and so, so and so, like, oh, this and that, like this actually just happened to me like about a month ago, and it's like, oh yeah, like you're kind of like my cousin, I guess, like like my family, so it'll be like that. But yeah, it like mentally just having being able to separate, living a regular life, and then go into a job that's like this, that's so like high, like high energy, very very demanding on you.
Takes a toll on your mental and your body.
It's very much like almost like being like a fucking. I don't want to say it like that, but it's like being a superhero in a way. It's like I feel like I'm damn near Spider-Man.
What's crazy?
Bro,
is like, because when it gets busy as fuck, bro. Like there was one time, so we had one of our bartenders call off, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And I'm in, like, and it's always in these moments you find out who really can do it. I'm not. Shout out to Don. Don's a vet. Like that motherfucker doesn't want to do
Don's
it.
a
Like
pro.
He can do it.
Yeah.
So. He ended up going, I think it was Don and another person was outside, and then it was me and the homie Abe inside. I'm like, fuck it. One of us got to get 2 wells. You know what I mean? Because the point well, at SP2, you got that point well.
Mm-hmm.
That point well is weird because not only are you dealing with the people in front of you, once it gets late night, people start crowding that corner.
Yeah.
And that corner can be very fucking like, demanding if you just don't like attack it right. You got to kind of treat that point well almost as if like 1.5 wells, if not 2. Then so I put Abe on that one. I end up taking like the 70, the other 2/3 of the bar.
Yeah.
And I remember at like 12:31, like about like 11:30, 12, once it started picking up, bro, like I'm literally just moving like a machine, going all the way to the end of one bar, working down, repeating the same shit to people. I'll be with you in a second. I'm the only one here, guys.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like people be like, yo, but I just need a couple shots. I'm like, so does he. He just wants a beer.
Yeah,
she want a cocktail. They've been waiting for 15 minutes for me to get back to them. Like, you know what I mean? But you say about the whole superhero shit, it's like, bro, like everybody got their drinks in less than fucking, after only waiting for like 5 to 10 minutes, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. At a bar, when people are drunk, 5 minutes feels like, fuck, bro, I've been here for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Like, bro.
It ain't been that long.
Like, I'm not trashing my job, bro. I know you weren't waiting for 45 minutes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I know how long it's been.
I know how to.
I haven't seen your face for 45 minutes.
You know what I mean? And on top
possible.
of that, people don't think unless I'm looking at you right here, I don't see anything over here. Oh, bro, like, dude, I see that guy in that corner over there. I see this person in the corner. I see the security kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, going back to the superhero shit, there are times.
I guess you met. So I'm glad you brought that up because you kind of were touched on the point of it being like being a superhero in regards to the actual job itself. And I'm talking about like having to go back to the real regular life, having done all that stuff the night before. Like you come in, you wake up like for me, it's like you wake up late and stuff like that. Whatever, like, oh, like, it's like, hey, how, like what happened? I was like, oh man, it was, I don't know, it was something else. Like,
and then you just walk around in public.
And then exactly. Yeah, I'm walking around in public. Like I served this dude. I served this dude. I served this dude. Like you don't remember. But I remember them. Or I'm like over here, like just taking my money to the bank and stuff like that, and just trying to act mild mannered.
What's your bank route, just for the people watching?
My bank route?
Yeah, how do you go to the bank at what time? And how much you got on you?
Nah. Man, I keep it under my mattress.
But nah, yeah.
Just having to function in like, normal society.
After doing
all that stuff and like, the expectations that, that are expected of us, it's wild to me, man. Like people really do be expecting us to be doing it all. Or like, oh, like your job was so fun last night. Like there's no way you're like, you can't be tired. Or like, but it wasn't real work.
Because it's always the people that haven't been there. It's like it looks fun to the person ordering the shot.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Or ordering the cocktail. Like even especially now, like with us having multiple touches on the bottles for cocktails, people will like literally sit there and watch me and they're like, yo, you doing a lot, you're doing the most. I'm like, bro, like you wanted this cocktail. Like, you know what I mean? It's not that hard for me. And those are the moments where people are like, oh, you really working. You know what I mean? Because you sitting there watching me make some.
Yeah. Or like oh fuck, I forgot. But yeah, no, that's a good point you made right there. Just the work that that goes behind all that stuff.
But the people that come in, like that's why late night will never understand. Like there's only very few people that I've seen give respect to the service like staff. late night, and I'm talking about like 12 to closing,
Mhm.
because it's just for some reason people are just straight dicks to the bottle service girls, to the host, the security, the
I
bartenders.
know what I was gonna
the
say.
busters get treated
When you
like
show up,
shit.
when you show up to work on a Friday night, and that's the beginning of your weekend. Right?
Oh, yeah, bro.
And then like I be coming in with just life happening to me, and I'm just like whatever. Like people show up to work like this all the time. People bring their stuff to work whether they want to or not. They say check it at the door. It happens, bro. We're human beings, but we're expected to be above that when we clock in at 9 or whatever on a Friday night because people are here to get away to escape their realities and stuff like that. And it's like it's such a relaxed environment. There's drinks flowing and stuff like that. Music's playing. It's like why aren't you in a good mood? Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, what could be going on in your life that, like, now you're just over here, like, making it hard for me to look at you, just because, you come and, and I try my best, to not ever, like, impose whatever I'm feeling on a guest, because that's not fair.
100%.
That's 100% not fair, in any aspect. But, it happens. And I try my best to, like, put on a smile or put on a face that's like appropriate, and try to help them and walk them through whatever, take their order and get them their drink promptly. But at the end of the day, man, we're humans like them, and I bet at their jobs,
they did doing the same shit.
They'd be like, oh, Monday, they bitch and moan every Monday, bro. I know they do.
They got to, bro.
But if I bitch them on a Friday when I show up, then it's like, oh man, come on, dude, don't be doing that. Like,
Yeah.
It's just bartending.
And it really isn't, bro. Because it really is, but it just so many nuances to the craft and how you can deal with it. Because I've seen some people like, and maybe like, how do I put this, bro? Because when I used to work at Improv, right? It was SB2's workload times 10 with no guest interaction. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's one of those, like, I was able to just boom, 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 process. And if I'm having a bad day, my server's tripping, it's like, oh yeah, bro, I'm like, I can cuss out my server. You know what I mean? What you mean you dropped the fucking tray, bro? I got 150 tickets that I'm still making and you need this fucking, this specialty cocktail on the fly? Nah, re-ring it in, you'll get it in 20 minutes when everybody else is done. You know what I mean? But I can't say that to guests and late night, you know what I mean? Seeing all the tickets as people in front of me, it's a whole different energy. But I say all that to say, like, I've seen some people like get caught up in this lifestyle. And Matt kind of brought in one of one of the other pods on the Two Coin Network episode coming out at the end of the month, ID Please, with Johnny and Mac.
ID Please is a great name.
You feel me?
Who thought of that?
Mac.
That's tight.
But yeah, man, he had brought up a good point, just in the sense of like people will come to be security at SB2, right? And think that they're signing on to like get a bump up in their status, like life wise or like, you know what I mean? You're gonna be known on these streets. You SB2 security, you know what I mean? You the cool kid on the block. Yeah, and I see a lot of people come into bartending the same way, like, oh, I'm about to be a bartender here, or I'm gonna be this, like, oh, everybody's gonna fuck with me. And the minute you start thinking like that is when it all goes downhill. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 100%. I mean,
like, how do you feel about that? Like, you be dealing with that at Branham?
I deal with it like kind of on the other end of that whole spectrum because, like, the bar that I work at isn't the most prestigious bar to say that you're from. However, I think I think of myself in regards to all that as not above it, but I'm definitely got the chops to bartend at most places, if not all, in San Jose.
Yeah.
I can jump back behind any bar at 55 at fucking Paper Plane and or SB2 and hold my own. Yeah. So I do think it's like to your point, like you have already failed yourself if you definitely think that working at one place gives you a certain type of status. Yeah. Or says like speaks on like your level of bartending, or I guess you
as a person,
and things like that. I am me, and I am me, and capable of what I'm doing because of me. Where I work right now really doesn't necessarily reflect that, and as well as anyone else who's got a job or has like found them putting in the work, or being in the right place at the right time could say. about where they're at, because I mean I've met a lot of shitty bartenders that work at a lot of places that it's like, well, how did you get a job here?
You just know somebody that knows somebody that
exactly
knows somebody.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes like it's just like situations in our life, like this job, maybe this job gives you works well with your schedule and stuff like that, but yeah, no, people like you can't go into any of these places and think that like, oh, just because I got the job here and like now like my people should be looking at me differently, or people should be putting respect on my name because of that. You still got to earn that shit, I think.
Nah, 100%.
If that shit doesn't reflect in your work ethic, or how well you do your job, then I think that's you're just a waste of a body. You're taking a space for somebody else that's way better and deserve that shot.
Yeah.
So
I always tell people, because I get a lot of people asking me like, what it takes to be a bartender, or how do I start? And my main thing, what I tell a lot of people is like, honestly, go find like the top 50 cocktails, like most well known, and just study those recipes. You know what I mean? Because what happened with me was like, I got mad lucky. You know what I mean? I fell into a spot, and then the spot that I went at is, like I said on a different pod, it was kind of like bartending boot camp. You know what I mean? Improv, that's how I looked at it.
Some people get opportunities and brought into places that are like, have great programs.
Yeah.
That will like, if you get a shot to do that, you can go far within that company and stuff like that. And some people have to like, because the industry kind of works like it's almost like a, who
100%, especially once it gets to the bartending. Like honestly, like you can get in as a busser, work your way up as a, server. Maybe.
But then once you start bartending, it's like, do I want to start over somewhere, like, and start working as a busser, again
to do all that?
Exactly, like, so then that's what I mean. Like, I guess people get kind of, that could be another reason why people work where they do work and don't like, make the transition into other bars on the next level because of that reason.
They're trying to get that. Because it's all, honestly, once you bartended at one place, you can bartend anywhere. It's getting that first bartending job. That's all.
Or getting that opportunity to bartend at a place like that's on the same level. Like,
but what would you say for you? What would your number one advice be for somebody that's looking to get into bartending? Where should they start?
If they can, if someone wants to get into bartending,
come on down to Brandon Lounge.
I would say the route that I took was really well. Get into a restaurant. Get into a restaurant with a good cocktail program, and then work your way into that bartending program. And then from there, because there you're going to get a lot of the repetition for making a certain set of cocktails. And like I said, if it's a good bar program, then it's going to have respectable drinks on there as well too.
Yeah.
But from there, I think that's when you're going to get the most practice and the most reps, and you're going to get the most comfortable, like, doing that type of job. And then from there, depending on what type of bar you want to see yourself working at, whether that's a club or whether that's, this place or that place, you say like, well, I have the experience from here.
Yeah.
And like they'll look at it as like, okay, they do really very well at making these types of drinks. We're gonna give you a shot or things like that.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important that it's a good bar program, just because it's like, no shade to anybody else, but it's like, if I put 4 years at, working at Chili's or working at, Applebee's, it's not the same as me putting 4 years at working at like
a Paper Planes or some shit.
Not a paper. I'm thinking about as far as restaurants go. Like,
okay. Cheesecake.
Maybe a cheesecake.
That's a solid
maybe
spot.
Maybe a cheesecake solid spot. I'm thinking like maybe like, a smaller, like maybe steakhouse or something like that.
I feel that.
Like a commercial steakhouse. Maybe like a Fleming's or something, or gosh, any of those places that I know have like
something just a little bit elevated.
Yeah, a little bit elevated, something on that level. Or like, I would say like, as far as like restaurants, and then this is like for San Jose, like, restaurants on Santana Row. Any of those ones would be like, a good place to start, rather than something that's like more of like a franchise, things like that.
No, I definitely feel you on that. Chili's, Applebee's. I feel like Spaghetti Factory's on that borderline. It just depends which Spaghetti Factory.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because obviously the one on San Pedro, a lot of bartenders came out of Spaghetti Factory.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And I think that might be a proximity thing.
100%. Because you're working at Spaghetti, you get off, you go to one of the local bars. And
you start to know people.
You're part of the...
you're part of the San Pedro Square family.
You know what I mean? And then from there, it's just easy to navigate. But I think what you were saying, just a more elevated, if it's going to be a chain typical family. Make it be like elevated, like a yard house, like a cheesecake.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
something along those lines.
At least
like,
with a yard house, people can be like, yo, I worked at a place that had 20 plus beers on tap. That is a unique thing.
Yeah. Or like you look back and like I did this volume.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I'd recommend doing an improv for anybody, but it was just one of those. I don't think they ever put people.
The improv's always hiring.
They're always hiring, but like, especially when it comes to bartending, like I said, I just got lucky. My first month over there, they're like, yo, we need a bartender. Which one of y'all want to move up? I was like, they're like, you got to wait 60 days, bro. I remember that last
60 days.
Bro, that last 30 days, because I was there for the month, they made that announcement. So that next month, I was just like, nobody else wants to be a bartender, right? Nobody, you know what I mean? I was talking shit about bartending. I'm like, nah, you don't want to do that, bro. The 60 days happened. I'm like, yo, let me go ahead and slide in real quick. People see me the other way. I thought you didn't want. I'm like, shh, I didn't want you to get the bartender spot.
Yeah. I was just waiting.
Opportunity, man. That's honestly where it is.
Yeah.
But don't get into it thinking like you're about to be the face of a function. Because technically you are, but you're not going to be the one partying. And if you are, you're not going to be partying for long. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, absolutely not. And then, try to approach this, try to approach your journey. And I don't know what reason someone would want to get into bartending other than my own reasons. But if the end goal is to be a badass bartender one day and, just have all these accolades and like this and that, X, Y, Z, you know what? The best advice I can give you is just always remain a student. Always be open to learn, always be willing to put yourself in uncomfortable situations and always be willing to align yourself with bartenders that are better than you. I feel like I've done a really good job at, aligning myself with bartenders that I know that are better than me. And I consistently, like just soaking up game. I'm just listening to whatever they have to say. Like people like Nanette, people like Brandon, and people like NECA, who I know are better bartenders than me, are, definitely those that I always give them their flowers. But also at the same time, like I'm soaking up game from them, and I take it back down for me, and I implement it in my own way. But like always remain a student. You can never know it all, and never be the smartest person in the room.
Yeah, facts. Yeah. You definitely got to check that ego at the door. You know what I mean? I was making sure. He's like, what door?
I was like, you got a house door.
But you really got to check that ego, man. Especially when it's like you come into a new place, and this goes for like bartenders, like going from one. Say you leaving your first bartending job, you've been there for a couple years, and then now you go into a new place. Don't ever walk, because I hate when new bartenders come in. And then I had to learn to not do that when I first came too. I don't care about your past, where you worked at and all this stuff. Go through the training right now, what we do here, and then, you know what I mean? Then you can let your flowers grow.
That's how you can tell someone's an experienced bartender or not. And by experienced bartender, I don't mean how knowledgeable they are, but I mean like, just someone
who's been around people.
Someone who just someone who understands,
their
what's
role,
the word I'm looking? Understanding your role and understanding how to respect others. Because I go to a place and like I might have done this and that, but I'm here right now. You're my trainer.
It clearly didn't work out for me over there.
Or maybe it did, but like, or maybe who knows? But like you're my trainer. Like I might be more experienced in this and that. Like my job is to listen to you, listen to the instructions that you're like giving me, listen to my managers, listen to this and that. If they ask me for an input, then then I'll be more than happy to help. But like, I'm just trying to get in where I fit in. I'm not trying to, I'm not over here trying to reinvent your guys' wheel or anything like that. Because no one asked you to. That's not why we hired you.
You said you needed a job.
You said you needed a job. Yeah, exactly. Like you didn't hire. If you're not hired as a bar manager, you need to shut the fuck up a little bit. Like,
facts.
And it might be, and it's a humbling experience for sure. But it's definitely one that needs to happen. I guess it needs to happen to you first before you realize you can't just go places to do that.
And also, it's like you got to give people a chance to get to know you before you're in the family. You know what I mean? I think that's what it is. Because it's like when you leave one place, it's like, damn, bro, I was so entrenched in this family. Like everybody, you know what I mean? I knew everybody. I knew the way. Restarting is hard for a lot of people. You know what I mean? And I think the whole coming to a new place, starting off at a new place, that's a very humbling feeling. You know what I mean? Because nobody gives a fuck who you are. Who are you again? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly. And you have to find yourself going around explaining to yourself who you are. And it's like, bro, like how much of a fucking how egotistical do you have to be to like I'm LeBron James?
Yeah.
Like, every time everywhere you go.
Versus,
like,
it's always the people that were just quiet, in the pocket, humble, that ended up just working, that ended up lasting, and everybody
yeah,
gravitated
and
to.
those are the people that people want to fuck with the most. Honestly, dude, like no one likes dudes. No one likes the other dude.
Yeah.
You know.
Nah, man, this whole industry it's interesting, man. Shit, we talked about a lot, bro. You got anything else you want to?
Goodness. Closing stuff. I feel like I just had my closing thing right there earlier. Yeah, no, I mean, just take care of yourself. First and foremost, find that balance that you need to have. Whatever that may be, everyone's different. You know, you can continue to be a hard worker and still take the time off you need to do the things you don't. Don't let people tell you otherwise. Don't let people try to convince you that you're being lazy or like, you know, it's your journey, you know. It's not a race, you know. Take it at your own pace.
Yeah,
that wasn't supposed to rhyme, but
nah, I feel that, bro. Nah, that's real. Shit, I mean, with that, I really ain't got nothing else to add. I feel like, you know what I mean.
Right on.
I talked a lot, but yeah, that's episode 3 in the books. You know what I mean? We doing it.
There you go.
We doing it.
So when's episode 2? Episode 2 dropping?
End of this month.
End of this month?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we doing clips of episode 2 in August?
Yeah.
Cool.
Shit, I mean, after I'll show you off camera the schedule.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, man, it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit.
Type shit.
Stay tuned. 2 Point TV. We bringing a bunch of shit to you. Other side of the glass. We gonna be taking over. You know what I mean? Fuck with us.
I don't.
We don't give a fuck.
No, we give a fuck. Fuck with us. I give a little bit of a fuck.